Hello and welcome again, my ibby shibbies, to the warehouse. I'm Brett, aka your Android Queen 1014, and here is the review of episode 6 of Rupaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4. Now, there is not much to talk about. I'm just going to say it. I was a little disappointed by this episode from the gag of that cliffhanger. So it starts with all the girls talking, and it kind of looks like a little bit of a produced moment that they're all like resentful because the only one that didn't really care or sounded resentful was Jasmine. She was just like, hey, whatever, I'm back, cool. And it's the next day, and they all come back in the workroom. Rue walks in after a secret message and says, we're gonna have a Lollapalooza. And since Manila Luzon and Mona Assange were the top 2 last week, they have immunity from this challenge. And this challenge, which is the Lollapalooza challenge, is the 4 eliminated queens and the 4 remaining queens all have to lip sync against each other in a showdown. And since Latrice was the recent one to go home, she got to pick first, so on and so forth, meaning Jasmine unfortunately got the scraps because she got picked last. Because she was eliminated first, she had to pick last, which kind of sucked. Alright, so we're getting ready for this Lollapalooza challenge. And again, there's a lot of filler, in my mind, a lot of produced moments. They're like, hey, we need some drama for this episode. So it seemed like Gia was just going around poking people, seeing who's nervous to get in their heads. One, yes, I appreciate she was doing that for the drama aspect because she knows how to stir the pot, I'm sure, without producers' pokes. So she kind of knew what she was doing, especially being in that kind of a reality TV atmosphere. So besides Gia, I felt like everybody else was having produced moments of this resentfulness of, oh, you sent me home, woe is me, I'm gonna come after you. So like they were setting it up like very predictable that whomever sent whomever home is pretty much how they're gonna lip sync. The only thing that I felt kind of genuine from them getting ready in the makeup mirror was when Gia was kind of going around trying to get in people's heads to try to make them nervous. And I liked the moment that she had between her and Naomi. That didn't feel super that seemed like a genuine conversation. Like, yeah, of course I'm nervous. Like, anything can happen. Like, all 4 of us queens that are not safe remaining in this competition can go home, and you 4 that were eliminated can come back and change the entire game of All-Stars. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. So we get more filler. We're not really going to talk much about it because there wasn't much to talk about. So we get to the runway. Rue walks out looking gorgeous, serving us legs for days. You can almost see her snatched puss. Puss, my darling. Yes. Goob. Toot. Whatever you want to say it. She looked fucking sickening. I didn't really care for the wig line. But other than that, she looked like a life-size Barbie doll serving us some legs. And I loved it. So she introduces the judges, which are the resident judges of All Stars, Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, and Carson Kressley. Then we get to the Lollapalooza Extravaganza runway, which we will talk about in another Gooba New video. Moving along, it gets to the actual Lollapalooza, and first up was Jasmine Masters, and she got scraps of having to lip sync against Trinity. And we get a bunch of filler, which I'm just gonna get out of the way now. The pit crew coming out each time, the crotch shot, which I love crotch shots, But again, it was filler and kind of unnecessary. And it was good to see Sean back. He's so sexy. He is so sexy. Anyways, so Trinity against Jasmine, they have to lip sync to Peanut Butter. No one really knew the words to the song, it seemed like, which I don't understand because the lyrics are pretty repetitive. With that out of the way, I think they both did a good job. I wouldn't have been surprised if Jasmine stayed or Trinity went home, and I wasn't surprised by the outcome, which was Trinity staying and Jasmine going home. I'm a huge fan of Jasmine Master, so of course I was rooting for her, but I really do like Trinity's competitive edge and what she brings to the competition. So with that said, I was okay with that. And next up was Miss Pheromone, who picked Valentina. So here we are, Valentina sent Pheromone home. Here's the lip sync revenge. They had to lip sync to Kitty Girl, and Pheromone's wig kept getting in her face, so you could not see her lip sync the song. I felt like even though the outfit was nice, the outfit was way too distracting and took away from her face and lips when the hair wasn't in her face. Valentina did what she did. Honestly, I was like, so are they both going home? But Valentina looked obviously sickening in that cat suit, which means Valentina won against Pheromone, making Pheromone sashay away. And next up, finally, because the whole episode was, in my mind again, boring, filler, and here we go finally to what we want to see in Drag Race. Gia Gunn pulling out the lip sync. I am going to lip sync against Naomi Smalls. So we get more filler with the boxes, and the song that they have to lip sync against each other is Adrenaline. So the song starts, and Naomi was nervous because Gia Gunn is from the House of Edwards, and the House of Edwards gets down and funky and dirty and does high kicks and shenanigans and buffoonery all over the stage. No matter what stage it is, small, big, they will work that stage, the house down. So Naomi was afraid, as would I, going up against the House of Edwards, and Gia Gunn did do a phenomenal job, I thought. Naomi, I have mentioned that I love Naomi Smalls, and I was rooting for her a little bit above Bob the drag queen in her season, and this is the Naomi that I fell in love with. She fucking turned that lip sync out, child. Yeah, she did. Oh my gosh, she posed the house down. Ugh. That's all I can say. Like, I commend her for what she did because I know that can't be easy. Anyways, before we spend too much time on how amazing Naomi did, I thought they were both gonna stay. Turns out that Gia Gunn actually had to sashay away. Now we're at the gag of the episode, which is Latrice coming out. And obviously she picked Monique Hart. They have to lip sync against Sissy Dat Walk. And Latrice was working that stage, proving why she came back to the competition in the first place. She turned that stage out. She freaking utilized the stage, made sure her lip sync was on point. She did a fucking wig reveal and some splits and some buffoonery across the stage. And I'm like, you go. And then the editing made it seem like Monique was gonna beat Latrice because, let's be a little honest here, Monique fucking worked that lip sync, the house motherfucking down. And I think they both did an incredible job, but let's be a little honest here. Monique did just a smidge better in that lip sync. She came to show, oh, I ain't fucking losing this lip sync. I ain't fucking going home. She's a production and she's here to stay, and she definitely proved it, and I think that's why RuPaul kept her and kept Latrice. And I love Monique Hart, so I'm glad that she's still in the competition. However, there were a few things here and there, like the produced moments Latrice being a little bit upset, not upset at Monique for sending her home because she felt like she was protecting her friend from her season, which wasn't the truth, because we all know, we all love, and we all respect Latrice. She is OG. She is highly respected amongst us. We all hate to admit it to ourselves, but Latrice wasn't doing as well as the other girls. And that's why, unfortunately, she got sent home. I didn't want her to go home either. But based on report card, Monique was correct in what she was saying to Latrice, saying, I sent you home solely based off a report card. She's like, I love Monet, but I don't love the bitch that much. It was based off of report card, and I don't understand why Latrice got a little delusional, like Monique said. I think Valentina's delusion is rubbing off on Latrice. Now again, I felt like these were produced moments because you can tell from Jasmine just chilling there, being like whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna jump to conclusions. It could have not been produced, but to me it seems produced. I had a little problems with the box fillers. Again, I love a good bulge, but it was unnecessary. It was a time waste. There was no tip, which means there was $10,000 more to the budget. And I don't know if VH1 is actually calling more shots, but it kind of seems almost like it is, because this episode was boring. They should have just been like, hey, Latrice, here you go. You're back in the competition, and saved a whole hour. So I don't understand. They had $10,000 extra for budget. I get the whole concept behind Lollapalooza because they're drag queens. They get paid to show up at a bar, at a club, at a venue, at a birthday, at a party, at wherever, to put on a lip sync show. Some sing live, but that's what they get paid to do. That's how they pay their bills. So this was a very good opportunity for them to show off what they do for a living outside of the reality TV show competition. It gave a chance for all of us to see all of them do what they do. And I thought that was great. I thought it was very boring, using a bunch of RuPaul songs that we already know, have heard many times. So it would have been more refreshing if they used different songs, or maybe gave an advantage to the girls coming back that were booted. Maybe let them pick a song of their own that aren't maybe RuPaul songs. I understand it's RuPaul's Drag Race and it was probably easier for song rights and all that stuff, but they could have twisted it up more, because I just don't understand why Jasmine and Trinity didn't know peanut butter. That just befoozled me. Anyways, that was pretty much the episode. I don't know what's gonna happen next week, but I'm kind of getting bored of this format. I just think that RuPaul gave the girls an advantage to kick people off, and I believe she gave them that advantage to stir up some drama and make good TV. And I think RuPaul wants them to kick off their competitors rather on report card. I mean, why else would she give them the power to kick off other people? Because so far, season 2 to this one, this format, it's all based on report card. Now, there was some people who, what I think RuPaul wanted the girls to do intentionally, like Morgan, play the game. So there's a reason why RuPaul had to give them this power. And maybe they're just not utilizing it. That's why she had this Lollapalooza, which again, in my mind, was a waste of time. If RuPaul already had intended in bringing back Latrice. I think Ru was intentionally going to send somebody home from the remaining queens, but I feel like they all kind of proved themselves to Ru. But I felt like Ru couldn't send Monique home after that lip sync because it seemed like she was saving a gag towards the end. So that's my opinion. I just want something exciting to happen already, and I hope it happens. Anyways, that was episode 6, the Lollapalooza. I will be doing the Gooba Noob video for the runway shortly after. Please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Thank you for coming to the warehouse. Please go ahead and like and share this so you can get all the fix-ins with me, Brad, aka your Android Queen 1014 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Until the next episode comes on. What's gonna happen? What do you think is gonna happen? We don't know. I wanna know. Because that was such a disappointing episode after a gag of a cliffhanger. Waited all week for that. Anyways, bye my ibby shibbies.